everybody, fan, teammate, anybody in the building respects him and should because of the way he competes. It's not even close.
What's it say about him that we've seen this a couple times this year now where he has a bad game, a couple of bad games, then he bounces back the way
Stud, because that's the way he is. You know, he's tough as nails. It means so much to him. I mean, all day Sunday, all that kid was in our building, watching film, trying to get better. And nobody puts in more time. Nobody puts in more work. You know, nobody practices like he practices in terms of how fast he goes, how hard he goes. You know, the speed at which he plays and practices at is how he always is. He's 100 miles an hour, and it's a fine line of trying to slow him down, which I thought he was fantastic being slow tonight. We didn't protect him. And we need to do a better job at pass pro.
What's it like, I'm sorry if you've been asked this, but what it's like to play so well as a coordinator, but it's, you know, still not well enough to win?
It's like that double-edged sword, you know. It never matters because, you know, I walk out of Florida after an unbelievable win, and you have this little pit in your stomach, and now it's just like a reverse pit. It's just weird, you know. It's a different feel. Like, yeah, you're proud of the way your guys played and the way your side of the ball played, but we lost, and it's a gut-wrenching loss. And you just feel for our kids. You feel for them because they executed. They did what we needed to do to win. We just didn't win the game.
When the other team is scoring so quickly, is it hard to stay patient on your end and not go for the big chunk plays every time? I mean, you guys.
We had a few of those conversations.
But you seem to keep your patience. We're going to do what we want to do.
Yeah, I thought we did a pretty solid job of staying patient. You know, I mean, I was trying to run it. I mean, I ran it all the way through that last drive. We weren't really running it that well. Just to be honest, we weren't running it that well. The guys were running through tackles, but we weren't opening many holes and getting a lot of movement up front. And that's why, you know, I just felt like we needed to throw it in order to win that type of game. And but I didn't think we ever lost true balance. Do I want to throw the ball 50 times a game? No. But when the quarterback's feeling it and guys are making plays, you're going to go with the hot hand, and that's just where we were at the time. I mean, Chris had, 20-something for 109 or whatever it is. I mean, that's just not... That's not him, but that's not going to get it done for me to keep running it. You know, so at the end of the day, we got to go with what's working. And, you know, Coach Stoops did a great job of a few times I wanted to take a couple shots early. And, you know, we just talked about it, which was great, collaboration to hear Coach say, no, you know, just, hey, let's stay patient, let's run it, let's, you know, be smart. And it was really good in terms of that dialogue and listen to Coach him. He's the boss, and he knows football really well, and it's all learning, and that's where I thought we were on the same page. Our offense was on the same page about what we were trying to do.
The play there in the first half, I think what you're talking about, where Wandell sat down on one of the ones where a lot of times the series kind of gone further. Do you think that maybe helped Will get into a little bit more of a rhythm tonight?
Yeah. It was more of a controlled pass game. You know, we took some shots, but they weren't the deep shots, you know, like the Max Pro play action. That's not what the world we were living in tonight. And that was the plan going in. So I think that the more the intermediate throws that we can get the ball out of our hands and still be able to push the ball enough to create an explosive, that definitely helped our efficiency in the pass game tonight.
How quick of a pivot was there? Because if you're going to be facing a 4th and 9, Stoops gets a penalty, and it's 4th and 24. I mean, I don't know how many plays you have in your playbook.
There's not a ton, but the guys executed a play that's like a desperation play that we've repped and practiced a ton. And it just so happens to come up in a game, and the guys executed it, and guys open, makes a throw, makes a catch, and you know, at that point you're like, shoot, you know, you just get a few more yards, but you know, it was frustrating at the end. I feel like I could have been better for those guys, but at the end of the day, you know, we just, for whatever reason, we just didn't get it done.
Cummings caught that ball. How important is it for his development to have games like this?
Huge. He's such a good kid. It's a great example of a kid that just does all the right things, both on the field and off the field. And then his number's called, and he has a great game and makes some plays. He comes back after a drop. I mean, he had a drop coming down this way, which was a big drop, you know, and he ends up coming back and making 2-3 more plays, which is so good to see, because it just shows your kids on the team, it shows the other players, look, man, good things happen to guys who do right all the time, both socially, academically, and on the field.
So first and 10 at the 38, 46 seconds, 2 timeouts, no running just because it hadn't been effective.
Yeah. At that point, we were scrapping for like 3 yards. And I'm just like, I could have probably ran it a little bit, but, the guys were making plays in the pass game. And that's where we needed to rely on those guys that were making plays. I mean, just like if we were running the ball down their throats, I would have ran it,
And they were blitzing too. And then,
A good amount. Did you guys see when they were
7
just shooting
dudes.
the gaps and
Yeah.
we're getting stuffed and smashed for 3 yards? Typically, it's not really a great look to run against.
Stoops said that Will was dealing with a little injury at
Yeah.
halftime. Do you know what he was dealing with?
I'm not sure exactly what it was. The trainers never came up and said anything to me about it, but they did say that he was nicked up and just said, hey, he's gonna keep going. I mean, he's just a tough kid. That's just how things are gonna happen for him.